Alaska. I've always dreamt of sailing to Glacier Bay, Alaska, and eventually around the world, fishing and foraging on the grand adventure. In December of 2024, we purchased a Fountaine Pajot Lucia 40-foot sailing catamaran and named her Mycelia. We spent the winter making repairs, took a 3-day sailing crash course, and prepared her for the voyage. In the summer of 2025, we embarked on a 2,600-mile, 3-month round-trip shakedown cruise to Glacier Bay. In Part 1, we departed La Conner, Washington, and reached Rivers Inlet, where we caught king salmon and made a quick and delicious salmon poke. Come join us on this fish, forage, and food adventure along the Inside Passage aboard SV Mycelia. It's June 14th, and we're just getting ready to leave for Glacier Bay. Glacier Bay actually only allows 25 boats at a time in a national park. So back in January, we submitted a request and got a permit for July 18th for 5 days. That gives us just about 5 weeks to get there, so we're gonna try to book it up there. You ready to go?
Hell yeah!
All right, let's go. Okay, we're ready. Just departed La Conner. We're heading to Point Roberts tonight. Tomorrow we should be able to make it to Vancouver. The water is so flat today, it's amazing. No wind, so we're not sailing.
After a night at Point Roberts, we headed into False Creek in Vancouver to clear customs at the tiny customs dock. Afterwards, we docked at Pelican Bay Marina for a few days to tour the city, visit family, and stock up on groceries before departing.
The 18th of June, we're departing Vancouver for Desolation Sound. Hope to catch lots of shrimp and crab. Beginning of our Alaska trip.
We spend the night tucked into Pender Harbor, then make our way onto Refuge Cove. Refuge Cove is one of those special places that every cruiser seems to know about. This tiny, historic waterfront community nestled on West Redonda Island, right in the heart of Desolation Sound. It's more than just a marina stop. There's a small general store, fuel and water, groceries and ice, and even showers and laundry. Here, Paul tried to change the new engine's motor oil for the first time and was unsuccessful.
Trying to change a motor oil, but this West Marine oil pump can't extract the motor oil out of the dipstick hole. So we're gonna have to go to Campbell River and pick up another oil pump.
Instead of heading north through Desolation Sound to shrimp and crab, we headed west to Campbell River to find something that will help us change the motor oil.
This big oil pump worked, got the oil changed, and now we can be on our way through Seymour Narrows and Johnstone Strait. We were gonna go the northern route, but because we're in Campbell River, we'll change our route. We're just gonna head through Seymour Narrows and Johnstone Strait.
One more job done. Now we're finally ready to head north into Seymour Narrows. Seymour Narrows is a legendary passage, a narrow stretch of water where tides race through at up to 15 knots, even after the removal of Ripple Rock in 1958. Timing is everything here. Getting in near slack water can mean the difference between smooth water and getting caught in dangerous currents. We reached the Narrows about 15 minutes before slack, and crossed without a whirlpool in sight. However, our hopes for a calm, smooth passage didn't last very long. Shortly after Seymour, the wind in Johnstone Strait built sharply, up to over 25 knots, much stronger than forecasted. The water became turbulent, pitching the boat in all directions. Our original plan was to reach Port Neville that day. Instead, we hailed Blind Channel Resort, the only harbor or anchorage within miles, and they managed to squeeze us into a spot on their seaplane dock. So we made a U-turn and headed there for the night. The winds that seemed so daunting out on Johnstone Strait now feel distant here in the snug protection of the channel. From blast to calm in a couple of miles. And tomorrow, hopefully the strait calms down and we can press on. After spending a calm night at Blind Channel, we continued onwards and managed to set anchor for the very first time ever at Growler Cove. The next day, we headed to Port McNeill, where we restocked groceries, then made an overnight stop to Elson Harbor, and finally reached Goose Bay at Rivers Inlet, where we anchored out for the night. Goose Bay is an amazingly picturesque and calm anchorage, with a large fishing lodge at its entrance and enough room for Mycelia and 3 other boats within. What an ideal place to spend some time relaxing after a week of non-stop cruising to get here. A kind neighbor boat gave us a couple of large crab for dinner and mentioned that crabbing is pretty good there. Look at all those crab pots behind Mycelia. We have to try crabbing on our way back. We spent a serene evening enjoying the natural beauty and made a crab dinner before settling in for the night. I'm really excited about this morning. We're headed into Rivers Inlet to catch some salmon.
I found a fishing map from Rivers Inlet Sportsman's Club, a fishing lodge nearby, and decided to try Kevin's Corner, a spot right outside of Goose Bay. Locals use anchovy helmets with anchovies or just troll cut plug herring behind a banana sinker. On Mycelia, I had a custom downrigger mount made for salmon trolling, so we rigged up my favorite flasher and spoon combination and set it down to 50 feet. 10 minutes later, fish on.
That's okay. Yep. I'll eventually turn this over. Just be careful with this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's so strong.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't reel it in. It's just going out. Oh, it's 200 feet long.
Oh, it's okay. Keep at it. It's a great fish. Yeah. How much line? Alright, some minute. Yeah, 200 to 150. Well, don't slack, don't slack. Can't let the left rock go straight. How many feet now? Oh, it's fun. Makes you tired. Keep rolling. It's just a flasher.
What? Behind you? There we go.
Oh, precious. Keeper. See, I can barely get in the net. You saw that?
Yeah.
That's how big it is.
That's juicy.
Oh my god.
That's a big fish.
That's a big salmon. High five. Down those bottom of it.
It turned out to be a 20-pound king, not quite the trophy we were hoping for. Paul set the rod back down and cut another in just half an hour. With our fridge holding enough salmon for a few weeks, we headed to Fury Cove. There, we're going to make some salmon poke. Salmon poke requires few ingredients, is quick to make, and great on rice, seaweed, or by itself. It's the perfect way to prepare salmon on a sailboat. Check out our recipe later in the video. In part 2 of our Inside Passage adventure, we reach Ketchikan, where we enjoy the 4th of July, harvest salmon berries, and make a chocolate lava cake topped with our foraged berry jam right here on Mycelia. Today I'll be making the recipe that we use to make poke from the fresh caught salmon at Rivers Inlet. It's a great recipe to make on the boat since it only takes a few ingredients and very little equipment. It's great served over white rice in a poke bowl or made into a hand roll using a seaweed snack. We'll start by preparing our 1-pound fillet of salmon that we caught at Rivers Inlet. First, we're going to remove the skin from the flesh. Start by grabbing one of the corners of the fish's skin and holding it firmly with your fingertips. Then slide the fillet knife between the fish's skin and the flesh. You can either discard the skin or, if you're like us, save it for crab bait. Next, we'll remove the fat, which has a fishy flavor. As you can see, the fat is this line of brown that runs through the middle of the fillet, and we're going to slice right down the center of that. Turn one side of the fillet onto the cut end, and then using the knife at an angle, slice downwards along the line of fat, then curving the blade slightly under the fish to make sure you get all of it out. We're going to do the same thing on the other piece. Next, we're going to remove the pin bones using a pair of kitchen tweezers, or you can use pliers as well. Once you've removed all the pin bones, you can slice the fish into 1/2-inch cubes. Once you've finished cubing all your salmon, you can put it in the fridge for now while we work on the marinade. We'll start our marinade by grating about 10 grams or 2 teaspoons of fresh ginger. Next, we'll finely dice 1 small shallot. If you don't have shallots, you can totally use a red onion instead. Next, we'll add in a 1/4 cup or 50 grams of soy sauce to our aromatics, along with 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and then just stir everything together thoroughly to combine. Once you finish the marinade, you can grab your salmon out from the fridge and simply pour over, then combine everything together thoroughly. You can let this sit in the fridge for about 15 minutes before serving if you'd like. Before serving, finish with a sprinkle of freshly chopped cilantro and a teaspoon or 2 of sesame seeds. You can also use pine nuts for this if you have that on hand. Give everything a final mix, and that's it. My favorite way to eat it is just grabbing a seaweed snack, placing 1 or 2 cubes on top, and just enjoy it like this. So good. This is definitely my favorite way to enjoy salmon.